head for a beanie.
You do have a nice round head for a beanie.
I don't know. When I say it sounds one thing, you say it sounds like an insult. I got a round head.
It is not. It is not. Stop. Yeah. Okay.
Wait, are we going?
Yeah, we're on.
Oh. Were we on when I was talking when
Not
when
quite.
I was talking about my
I was
round
just
head?
getting it started.
Okay.
So no, they didn't have those remarks.
Okay. But they do now.
They do now. Yep.
I'm smart.
Yeah, some days. Okay. Well, we're headed back from Iowa. It's been a long 3 days. Are we at day 3?
We
Yes.
left on Wednesday.
Wednesday. Today's Friday.
We're on day 3.
We're on day 3. So yeah, we left Wednesday. I left my place at 6:20 Wednesday morning. Drove down to Cambridge Springs, Pennsylvania in a snowstorm. It was great. Road conditions were lovely. We were on the highway doing 50, 55, 58. And thankfully I have the 2-horse, not the 4-horse for this trip, because the 4-horse would not have liked me in this weather at all. I got down there, we got the pony loaded, and then I headed up to Buffalo, picked up Jay, and by the time I hit like the 90, it was completely clear. Nothing. There's absolutely nothing. It was crazy. And I posted some of those videos. Grabbed Jay, and then we took the 90 all the way out to down to Massachusetts. Yeah. And weather was clear for most of that, right?
It started getting a little dodgy in Mass, because then that was that north-south storm system that was there.
Yeah.
So it went from like snow to sleet to rain to nothing.
Right.
And then we headed north, and it went from nothing to sleet to rain to sleet to snow.
Yeah, it did. But yeah, it wasn't a bad trip for that part of it, though, at least. And then we were trying to get into the driveway for the mini horse. Oh no, we dropped off the baby first, and that was really not a big deal. Got the trailer turned around because she lives on a dead end road, and that foal just walked off. Whatever. Done this before. Of course, this is third time on the trailer to New Hampshire. And then I thought we were taking one back from this place, because originally these are the ones that we went all the way up there to trade, to not have it happening, to drive the one all the way back home. Hey, Ellie.
Hi, Ellie. Thank you for the birthday message.
And I got her up there. She's like, no, we're not trading. I was like, oh, okay. Well, good. That takes a stop out of our plans. So we didn't have to go back to Pennsylvania for that part. We ran up to further in New Hampshire, and that's when it got a little bit dicier.
It got real cagey. In New Hampshire, it was, because it was dark too.
Yeah, it was.
And so that, you had these flurries, but mostly it was just like kind of a greasy road, and it wasn't cold enough for the road to be dry. Like when it gets certain kind of cold, if the road is already frozen when the snow hits it, usually it just kind of blows off.
Right.
But like the road was hovering right around freezing, and the air was hovering right around freezing, so you didn't know what to expect from the actual road. And some spots were kind of greasy and slushy, and some areas were just where that snow would just blew off, and you didn't notice anything at all.
No.
And it just like kind of changed mile to mile, but
until the driveway.
Until we get to the driveway. This lady's driveway, it was she warned us ahead of time that it was going to be pitched.
Thankfully.
She did say, well, it's kind of a steep driveway, you're going to need a 4x4.
Four-wheel drive.
Or 4-wheel drive. So, I turn on the 4-wheel drive, I back everything out so that we're kind of like flat, and then I just gun it up there because nothing was moving. Like on the hill, we switched to 4-wheel drive, and it just nothing was going.
No.
But we got the horses on, and slid back down the driveway.
Literally.
But it was fine, and that was pretty much smooth sailing all the way down into Pennsylvania before it got yucky again.
Right, because I fell asleep for that part of it. After we got fueled up in New Hampshire, back on the road, I pretty much crashed.
Yeah, you were out all the way
out
into Pennsylvania, and then when we got into the mountains of Pennsylvania, that's when we got near morning. That's when the roads started getting a little gross again.
Yeah.
And it stayed pretty nasty through most of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But then once we got out in Ohio, it was fine.
Yeah, Ohio to Indiana through Illinois back into Iowa actually wasn't too bad. The trip went pretty good.
Oh, there was that section in Illinois. Where the flurry
where the snow started.
And that was mostly made bad because of the other traffic and some of the northern sections, or rather around 80 and 280.
Yeah.
In Iowa, there was that other storm that came through. But again, most of that was just made bad by the other drivers. Like, just once the number of cars thinned out, it was fine.
Right. Yeah, because the storm was going through, and it was mostly a snow flurry. It wasn't sticking to the road. It wasn't doing anything like melting and freezing to it at all. But it was just kind of like hanging out.
The visibility was trash.
Yeah, visibility was awful. Of course, this is like 7 to 7:30 to running into 8 o'clock at night. And it's supposed to be 3-lane, and you couldn't see the lines hardly anywhere. You really had to look for them. And so I said to Jay, I'm just going to hang out behind this trucks, and we're just going to keep running and going. And every once in a while, you'd see the dotted lines go by. If you got too far to the left, you'd start to see the yellow lines show through the snow a little bit. But really, the biggest thing for that is just paying attention to where you are, where the other ones are around you.
Yeah.
And just hold steady. Don't get stupid. And I think the whole trip we saw, like, what? I think we counted 5 trucks.
5 or 6 trucks off the road or in a ditch.
Yep.
Mostly single vehicle accidents.
Yeah. And then the car fire. We saw the
which
car on
I
fire.
still cannot identify what
I can't
happened
remember what
with
state
that.
we were.
We were in New York.
New York, okay.
We were still in New York. We didn't. It was actually, I think it was like south of Syracuse. Or rather, just east of Syracuse.
Yeah.
But yeah, just some random car, not on the 90, just off in whatever town we were driving by, just sitting in what looked like a parking lot just off the side of the road, just on fire, completely inflamed, and a bunch of cops just sitting there watching it.
Yeah. Yeah, we were coming down this hill and around the curve, and you just see this black smoke billowing off in the distance. And I was like, oh, that's not good. And you could see off the bridge down into the town that was just this car. It was just completely engulfed in flames. Like, the biggest thing you hope is that there was nobody in it when it happened. So now we've got, we got into Iowa last night about 8:30, 8:45 at the drop-off.
Waterloo is a neat little town.
Waterloo was pretty cool. That's a nice little area. And so we got them unloaded, and then Jay and I found a hotel that was just literally, a couple miles down the road from the drop-off location, actually.
Yeah.
And really cheap, decent room. This sucks.
Yeah, when in doubt, especially midweek, if you want a good hotel, deal, and you don't want to stay at a Roach Motel, grab the Casino Hotel, and because they make most of their money from the people who are already there, not the people who stop in for an hour.
Right.
So, I just jumped on Google. I looked up all the hotel rooms. I think it forwarded me over to Priceline or one of their like affiliate sites, but I think it was it was under $60 all in for the night.
Yeah, it was a nice room too.
It was.
Equivalent to like a Hampton or
Yeah.
a Howard.
It would be up there with like a 3.5-star hotel.
Yeah.
But at the price of like a Motel 6.
Right. And then in the dark, as we're driving up to it, we could see like the water park that's off to the side. And then we get up in the morning and pulling out of the parking lot going, there's an entire amusement park on the other side of the road.
Like roller coasters and the Ferris wheel. And
It was so cool. I was like, oh, well, this is a place to bring the kids if I ever get another haul job out this way during the summer. Because then come to find out, 2 hours south of there is John Wayne's birthplace and museum. My dad would love that. I would have stopped if we had time. That wasn't happening this trip. So we got up and headed out this morning, headed down and grabbed 2 Appaloosas out of Orient, Ohio. Or I'm sorry, Iowa, not Ohio. We're not there yet. And now we're headed back to New York. So we're still in Iowa currently, headed east. So it's definitely been an exciting trip, Ellie. Yeah. Linda, Lori, Barbara. Barbara says, my question is, what kind of snacks are you packing?
what kind of snacks are we packing?
What kind of snacks are we packing today?
Let's see. Well, we do end up picking up a lot of stuff on the road.
Yeah, we do.
Like some stuff, I'll pack some stuff that I know that I'll eat just in case I don't know what I'm going to find.
Some of the stuff we pre-pack it.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff is left over from previous trips.
Like Emily's got her white cheddar rice cakes.
I'm nibbling at those lately.
Little snack packs of just whatever. Some peanut butter crunch things.
I think I have one apple left.
There's healthy stuff. We got apples. We got peanut butter. I got oranges in here. Actually, some orange sounds delicious.
There you go.
Would you like me to peel you an orange?
Not yet. After the livestock, I'll definitely need one.
Okay. And then I found these at a gas station. Legends used to carry them, and now, and as far as I know, they don't anymore. They're like a Japanese barbecue thing, takoyaki, like a cheese puff, but like umami and like barbecue. I don't know. They're delicious.
That is all you.
A lot of peanut butter stuff. We eat a lot of peanut butter stuff. Peanut butter stuff and jerky and like.
Oh yeah, the Jack Link's jerky is what I've been like snacking on heaviest lately. I found some Hormel pepperoni though today, so I had some pepperoni to eat later.
We picked up some chocolate twists.
Oh yeah, we gotta get those. Quick Star.
Quick Star. Some chocolate twists. I'm actually not a big snacker. I would rather grab like a burger, or something, like something small but substantial every couple of 100 miles than sit there with just like a bag open of chips. But Emily likes her bags of
my
chips. She'll just sit there just for an hour and just slowly polish off a bag of chips.
My hips don't like it, but I do. But we've done cheese so far this trip too. Well, you bought cheese on the highway and ended up not eating it, so I did. Reese's Pieces. I had some leftover M&M peanut butter M&Ms. I've got a box of sweet tarts I've been had the last 3 trips. I'm finishing up.
The peanut butter M&Ms. Man, that was such a good idea.
Yeah, no, peanut butter M&Ms are great. Oh no, Barbara, I definitely had my cheese. Like I said, we got those on the highway at some point.
Barbara's over here taking notes.
Yeah, she is. So when Emily comes back through Virginia.
What do you mean you didn't grab the M&Ms?
Snacks do help us stay awake. I know I like to have something in case, if I get tired. Actually, I found in my Amish trips, if I have my bag of chips and I leave it sit up on the dash, and if I get tired, I end up eating a few handfuls, and then I'm
just to have something active to do.
Yeah.
Because that's just the thing. Like, especially if your co-pilot's asleep, like you can only listen to so much music before it just becomes background noise, and that's almost the worst, especially if you're getting near tired. The worst thing you can have is something that just feels like background noise.
Yeah, that's exactly
because it becomes very calming.
Yeah.
Even if it's not something that you would normally consider calming.
Well, when you have the 3 Amish people and one of them's asleep in the front seat, 2 of them is asleep in the back seat, and I play the oldies music because I don't know what else is okay to play for them.
Right.
And I don't listen to my audiobooks or podcasts and stuff, so then I just like, okay, now what? You just kind of zone out.
Right.
So.
My snack tip for staying awake is sour stuff.
Oh, my mouth would burn.
It does. That's the thing.
It
you are not falling asleep with a mouth that is like dealing with lemon heads.
Yeah, but then my mouth is like sore the rest of the trip.
That's the price you pay for staying up too long.
No! Yesterday, some lady, pink lady apple chips with cinnamon was awesome. Oh, that sounds good too. Sam, I've inhaled Chinese curry and crispy seaweed was yum. Ew. No, thank you.
I like those seaweed snacks.
Alright, let's see. Hi, Sam. Natasha, the friend, a little bit better. A little bit better. I'm not going into details on that right now. What am I hauling today? So we've got horses today. We had sheep on the last trip. I have dogs next week to actually transport. So that'll be interesting. Hey, Tina. Tammy, you can move to Iowa. No, I'm not moving to Iowa.
It's pretty, but there aren't enough people out here for me.
For you? My problem is if I move to Iowa, then my whole family has to move. And I'm talking about my mother and my dad and everybody else. Because my family does not just move in singles. They move in packs.
I'm going to pick up the whole tribe.
Yeah, exactly. You take the whole tribe with you.
Your dad would love it out here.
My dad would like it out here. My dad would actually, like I said before, my dad wanted to move to New Hampshire. But he'd be okay in Virginia. But that would mean also like relocating all of the equipment and all of the tools and all of the vehicles and that's just not happening. I'll tell you right now. It's
Liquidate
just
it.
Not happening.
Liquidate it.
And if I move, I'm going to Virginia. I'm not going someplace where the wind blows and it creates more ice than anything else.
It is very windy and cold out here.
Too windy and cold out here. So that's not happening.
But we've been out here in the warmer months and it's very pretty.
Oh, yeah. That one pickup was really good out here. Iowa does go on forever. Iowa, Illinois, and Indiana, you don't know where you're at unless Google tells you.
It's just corn.
It's all flat and just go.
You just drive till you stop seeing corn. That's how you know you're somewhere else.
Right. Nancy, what do you do with the horses if you have to stay in a hotel?
Oh, we don't generally stay over if we're loaded.
Yeah.
We got lucky where there was a break in the where we had unloaded and we were empty in Waterloo, and then the guy that we were picking up from in the we figured we'd just give him till the morning because there was already a storm system moving through the Midwest, and we're like, let's just let it get ahead of us, let it blow itself out, and it did. So it blew itself out overnight, and we were able to get a full night's rest, about 7 hours.
Yeah.
And meet up with the guys about 3 hours after we got up. So it just was a happy coincidence. If we had any horse on, we wouldn't have stayed over.
Yeah, like with George last trip though. That's the one where we pulled off in the truck stop and had to wait.
But that's like 2-3 hours tops.
Yeah. No, right. It's like if we have to pull over.
That's as much a rest for the horse as it is for us, though.
Yeah. If we have a horse on the trailer and we've got to pull off and hang out for a little bit, or we're tired, I don't get out of the truck. I don't like leaving the horses sit in the horse trailer without anybody being around, because God forbid somebody gets stupid and decides to, walk up and go, I wonder if there's a horse in the trailer, and then does something dumb, or who knows. So
really, any of a million things could happen, and none of them are good.
Right, exactly. So as long as I stay with the truck and the trailer, then I feel more comfortable. I know the owners and the animals feel more comfortable. We make sure that they're fully have full hay bags. They've got enough sawdust padding underneath their feet.
We offer them water, but they usually don't take it.
Yeah, we always offer water, but they usually don't end up taking too much of it. There was a couple of trips, though, that we've had horses drink pretty well.
Yeah, thirsty-ass horses.
There are police reported ahead.
Yeah, I'm sure there
Thank
is.
you, Google.
There's one sitting in the median. How about that? But that's what we end up doing. Usually either Jay or I crash for 2-3 hours, sometimes 4 if we have to. The other reason we pulled off the last trip was George, is because his mom said she didn't want us going up the driveway in the dark.
Oh, yeah, we had to kill 3 hours.
We had to kill some hours, so...
But that was... yeah, so I just got, like, within two hours or so of the place. Actually, I think it was within an hour.
I think we were within an hour of it.
And I just pulled into a rest stop on the side of the highway, left the engine running so that we'd have some heat, and just kind of threw the reclined the seat and
Fell
zonked
asleep
out.
for a little bit.
Because I have, like, it's the one thing I wish wasn't the case. I have such a hard time sleeping, especially, I do great driving overnights.
Amazing.
And Emily sleeps really well overnights.
I do.
So she can do like 6 hours, it's just 6 straight hours of sleep. Good, like deep sleep. Listen, nobody is sexy when they sleep.
I know that. I just think it's funny.
But yeah, so she's over here sawing wood like it's her damn job. Well, I guess when you're here, it is your job.
Yeah.
But the thing is, during the day, it's also my job. I have to sleep so that I can be awake to drive at night.
Right.
And I'll be lucky if any given day if I get 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
So like usually that's why I don't do as many of these trips as I otherwise could, because it would just burn me out too fast.
Yeah.
So like when I'm on one of these trips, I'm like, all right, it's gonna be 4 days. It's gonna be a hard 4 days. I'm gonna get little naps here or there whenever I can.
I'm surprised, Texas, you didn't kill me.
And if I gotta pull over, that's the thing. If there was the one trip where you were already sleeping overnight.
Yep.
It was kind of late. It was like 3:30, 4 in the morning. I'm starting to go cross-eyed. I'm like, I want to pull over while it's still safe to do that. And I just found this plaza. It was tucked away. There were already a couple of other truckers parked there, so I knew that at least it was a friendly area. And yeah, we had one horse in the back, and they didn't care. Like, again, it's as much of a rest for the horse because they don't have the road bouncing underneath their legs.
Yeah.
So, and then, yeah, just put the chair back for 2.5 hours. And that was all I needed. It got me through till about 9 o'clock in the morning, 9:10 in the morning, and then Emily takes over and she just does the whole day.
Yeah, I'll easily go, 14, 15 hours, 12, as much as possible. Go. As long as I'm awake, let's go. I don't care.
But we're a good team in that way.
Yeah.
I just wish I could get more sleep. That's the only thing I need to get better at is sleeping in the truck during the day.
You need to work on your nervous system needs to get used to sleeping in the truck.
Yeah.
That's the biggest part.
The braking and sharp turns and just all the different things that you don't pay attention to when you're up and looking.
Yeah.
Your body is absolutely paying attention to it.
Yeah, it is.
And is more aware of it when your eyes are closed because I don't know. You turn that part off.
I do. I think I've gotten used to it though.
I must just be that good of a driver. I'm just gonna say it. Well, you said you don't sleep as well when your dad's driving.
I don't. And I don't know what that is, but something.
I'm just gonna say it's me. That's all. That's
sure. We'll just go with that.
I'm just that good of a driver. I'm easy on the brake pedal.
Yeah.
And on the eyes.
Right.
I mean, your eyes are closed, so it doesn't matter.
I was not. I'm not responding to that in here.
Anywho.
Yep. Barbara says you just made oatmeal raisin, crab raisin, pecans, walnut cookies, also pecan balls, and macaroons.
Cran raisin, not crab raisin.
It came out, it typed out as crab raisin.
Oh.
So, probably cran raisin. You may get cookies or double chocolate muffins. Oh, what a shame you're not going to Florida.
That's fine. Your dad can have the cookies. He can have the cranberries and cookies.
Yeah, I gotta go to Florida next week, and Jay's not going. I just take Dad.
I got a doctor's appointment.
I know. I have to work.
I gotta take care of the baby lungs.
I know. You and your poor little baby lungs.
I'm a delicate little flower, okay?
You are.
I am. Built like a lumberjack with the constitution of a Victorian child.
Yeah, actually.
I go into asthma attacks in a stiff breeze.
That poor sheep that killed him.
That sheep killed me!
The whole way to Virginia, he's just dying in the seat, like just coughing his lungs out. You can't laugh at it too badly, but
Yeah, you can.
I can.
Yeah, you can.
Well,
I've
we
lived
make
with it my
enough.
whole
I was
life.
gonna
You
say
can.
we make enough jokes about it. It's not
That
a
sheep-
sensitive topic.
That sheep damn near killed me. I don't know how to handle a sheep. So it was just like really badly like positioned. All the weight was like in the wrong place and like
Right.
and then again it's just like a loose sack of flesh and bones. Like there's no good way to grab a sheep. I don't know how you do it.
Carefully. She says it's crayon raisin. Do you have laws covering animal transport? Do they get rest time too? So there is not anything DOT, Department of Transportation, because Hillary, I know you're not here in the States. There's nothing for Department of Transportation, federal laws on rest times for animals. There's nothing like that for federal or state level in most places that I'm aware of. Drivers doing what we do, commercial hauling, are supposed to be CDL license, DOT numbers, Department of Transportation numbers. I have a DOT number. I made a big deal about that earlier this year because everybody's making a big deal about not having a DOT number. And you have to have special commercial insurance for that type of thing. But regarding like rest time for them, we don't have that. And it's kind of on the haulers and the owners who's hiring those haulers to make sure that they know what they're doing. It helps that, I have the medical knowledge so I can keep an eye in case something does happen with these guys. And I've definitely done that before. When we picked up that Mini out of Louisiana, I said right as soon as I looked at him, this guy's got a lung infection. He needs meds. And I had him with me on hand, so I was able to medicate him. There's been a couple other times that I've looked at a horse after we've gotten so far and I go, I'm throwing bute in that horse's mouth because I don't know about this. So I keep meds on stock for that situation. And I do know that for those hauling the big semi-rigs, the meat packing trucks, I've actually been coming through here. I noticed a lot more here that a lot of the vents are closed on the trailers out here. They're covered with some sort of plastic or a plexiglass. And so that's actually been nice to see because a lot of this cold wind is not good for the animals. It makes them sick before they get to the meat packing in plants, or if they're transporting for farms too. But you don't want that in any of those animals, and it potentially could cause like a cold shock, and then they could drop dead in the trailer. But for the horses here, bye, state trooper. For these guys, I've got all of our vents, main roof vents closed, and most of the windows, except I have a couple of the windows open. So they do have a ventilation system, and they're not just like sitting in the trailer breathing in their own CO2. So, and those commercial trucks hauling the big meat trailers, they don't have a time limit. So every other CDL trucker on the highway, you can only drive for so many hours. That hours limitation is not applicable to those that are hauling animals. Because if they're sitting in those trailers, if it's during the summer, it's hot, and they don't want them sitting in a metal trailer just warm because the driver has to sit and wait. And then in the cold, they don't want them sitting and freezing in those trailers to sit and wait. And so any of those that are driving the big trucks don't have that driving limit on hours. They get them where they need to go, and then they just get them there.
Yeah.
So
in almost all cases, at least from what I've come to understand, in almost all cases, the least amount of time, like however stressful the actual travel is on the animal, it is almost always worse to extend the time they have traveling. So like, yeah, you can give them a couple of hour break when you go take a meal or something, but unless you're talking multi-day travel, like, you know, we were talking about possibly grabbing a horse from California, right?
Yeah.
Bringing it back all the way to the
all the way to New York.
all the way to New York or the East Coast. That's the kind of thing where you find a stall in the middle and you both take like a full day.
Yeah.
And that way the horse can get out, can pasture a little bit, stretch its legs, move around, not get locked in.
There's an accident right there.
Yep. Another single car.
Jesus.
But yeah, besides that, unless you're talking like extreme hours on the road, it's better to just reduce or minimize the amount of time they spend traveling altogether.
Yeah.
So it's better just to get there, which is why we run overnights and run tandem like that. Hi, Mary.
I'm Mary.
Someone is asking about, I'm assuming EHV.
Yes. What's the latest with the EHV that's going on over here?
I'll pass it to you. I don't know a damn thing.
I don't know more than what we've looked up the last time.
Yeah.
You know.
There were a couple of other, like, what's being actively tracked. My understanding is still coming from.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
What's being actively tracked, as far as my understanding, is still all coming from that. What was it? Rodeo?
Texas barrel race.
The barrel racers.
Yep.
But there have been some identified. There have been some identified like isolated cases.
Yeah. So there was a.
It's not an isolated, or it's an endemic virus, right?
Right. So the virus is already in the United States. You're never going to get rid of it. It's all across the world, actually, and it just happens to flare up every now and then and causes issues for the equine industry. So EHV is a two-part virus. One strain of it can affect neurologically, and then the other strain of it just affects with reproduction and intestinal tracts. So the one that we can actually vaccinate against is one that affects reproduction and intestinal. The one you can't vaccinate against, unfortunately, is neurological, but it can help decrease the symptoms. The breakout that happened at the barrel race in Texas was a major nationally recognized barrel race. So, of course, a whole bunch of people, professionals, came down to this place and ran. But, of course, then you touch each other's horses, or you're standing next to one in the warm-up pen, or whatever it may be. And so that's where, at last I knew, was 30 cases.
Positive, I just counted 52 between 9 states.
Okay, so 52 horses have broken out with it across 9 states of the Southwest, or South. Texas, Colorado, it was going the other direction.
Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, South Dakota, Colorado, New Mexico, and Washington. So 8 states. They have Arizona listed here, but there are no cases listed.
Oh, okay.
So even Washington, but that's just 2.
Well, because somebody must have drove down.
Right.
Competing.
And then there was an isolated case in Maryland.
No, that started out of Pennsylvania.
And then there was an isolated case, or there were a handful of cases in PA on 11/27. So Maryland on the 18th and PA on the 27th. Neither of those associated with the Waco, Texas outbreak.
There's a truck right there. Median.
Uh-oh.
That would have been last night's snow.
I don't think he's supposed to be pointed that way.
No, he's jackknifed.
He took out the cables and everything.
Yeah, he did. Yikes. That's what we see a lot of. I know the PA case started actually at an auction. And then I don't know about the Maryland. It might have been in relation to. But I've been worried about it. For you, it's good to know you're aware of where it's at. Yeah, it hasn't affected any places that we are going to or have been to. I always check right now with everybody of, have the horses been anywhere? Have they done anything? Have you gone anywhere or potentially brought anything to the farm?
Any new horses come back to the farm?
Has anybody been, back and forth with anything? And everybody that we've been working with and hauling have all been, isolated cases, staying at home and not doing anything. And I picked the scab open. Is there a napkin you can give me, please? Thank you.
I know that, I know when we had to do the Texas run, there was 2 horses in Texas and then a couple of drop-offs. And so people were, and that was right around...
Right as it started.
Right after, the outbreak broke out. And so, people were very, very... This is just when that conversation first started happening. It really blew up that weekend. And
I had so many of you guys sending me notification messages and posts about, did you know this? Hey, just letting you know. I know you're down there, but did you see this?
And so, but from the moment that we heard about it, I think we were still in Florida when we heard about it.
We were.
And we
Just
already knew we were
to
going to
load up.
Texas. The Florida horse was going to Texas.
3 horses.
So, we had to go. We were going anyway. We had to go just to at least finish the drop-offs. And then we looked at they had everything broke down right to the county where it was, where the horses were at. And we were, I don't think, the closest we were to any of the 5 counties where any outbreaks were, we were within 3 counties.
I think we drove through 1 county.
No, we never even did.
We didn't drive through that?
We drove through a neighboring county.
Oh, okay.
But
maybe that was it.
All of our drop-offs and pickups were 150 miles away from anything.
Yeah.
So there wasn't, and it's not the kind of airborne where highway driving is gonna pass it along. I mean, if it was airborne and infectious like that, every horse in the continent would drop dead.
Yeah, pretty much.
From a strong breeze blowing along.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we were very, very aware of it.
I just coughed and sneezed at the same time. It fell over. Which auction in PA? It was an Amish standardbred auction. Harrisburg, I think. So.
Your road's snowy too. It's clear right here.
Right now, Mary, their roads are clear.
And I think that's caught up.
Yeah,
Jay's a funny boy. Aw, thanks, Barbara.
Jay's a great guy.
I do my best.
Yeah, we're caught up. Taboo says hi. So that's kind of where we're at on that part of it. And then I sent you screenshots of the other questions people had.
Did.
Because I pre-posted something.
We have questions.
We have other questions.
Dun, 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 questions. Question time.
Weirdo some days.
I'm a weirdo every day if I can help it.
That's what makes you fun.
What's the hardest horse you've hauled?
The hardest horse that we've hauled.
The lady in taking them down to Carolina. The stallion.
The crazy Mustang lady?
Yeah.
It wasn't a stallion, it was a gelding.
He was that crazy and he was a gelding?
He was a gelding.
Oh, man. You'd swear this thing had never seen a trailer before.
So, yeah, that was the one that we ended up out in eastern New York to pick up 2 Mustangs for this lady that was relocating because her training job didn't turn out to be what she thought it was supposed to be.
We got a whole story.
There was a whole backstory in that person that I don't
more.
think... I'm glad we don't have to deal with that one anymore.
Yeah.
Well, that's the one that took 4 hours to get the horse on the trailer.
And that was 3 of those hours were after the horse was already on the trailer once.
Yeah, he'd already been on the trailer once. And she was like, okay, good. And then took him off, put the other one on, and then tried to get him on. And I knew he was claustrophobic. And she refused to let us try anything else but what she wanted to do. So I don't think it was really the horse that was the problem, the hardest horse. I think it's the hardest client.
No, because as soon as you had your hand on the halter, I think within 20 minutes he was on.
No, that was after we took the second horse back
yeah, that's
off.
right. Well, because you finally insisted he's got to go in the front.
Let's try putting him in the front first. So we'll take the other horse back off, put him on, and he walked right on. Not a problem. He was claustrophobic.
And it was a tight fit at the back of the trailer.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, like all the horses have been fine. All the horses have been fine.
Yeah.
We get a couple that like have a hard time loading up.
Oh, I know. There's one horse that you did not experience that I did, which is the reason why when you look out that window, the trailer wall is bent outwards a little bit.
Oh yeah, you've talked about this.
It was an Amish horse. And she was fine hauling home from the auction because I hauled that horse home from the auction when he bought her that day. And then, about 3 weeks later, he says, I'm taking her back. I was like, okay. The whole way down there, she was next to another horse on the trailer. And she kicked and squealed and everything. And that whole trip, she kicked the back end of my trailer. And the wall is now dented outwards on the one side.
Not a small amount either. It's like a good 1.5 inches.
My back door is warped a little bit.
Yeah.
And some of the metal on the inside is all, you could just see the kick marks up and down the inside of that trailer. And I was just so mad at that fucking horse. Excuse my language, but that horse, I think, was the hardest one that I've ever had to haul. But the client was the hardest one, was that 4-hour load.
Yeah.
She never paid me extra either. Darn her.
Favorite pit stop location? Actually, we have a question here.
Yeah, what do you do? What do you do when you have a horse that in the trailer won't settle down, possibly kicking or throwing itself out?
Yeah, you were just talking about it. Not much.
There's really not much we can do. The two that we actually have on right now, so it's a filly and her mother. And that filly's never been separated from her mother, obviously, in the last 2 years that it's been alive and living on this farm that we picked him up at. So the guy put the filly on, which is fine because that's what I wanted. I wanted her in the front. I don't want any claustrophobic issues or anything on the back end of the trailer. And we got the mom on. The mom's just like, whatever, I don't care. Big deal. Whatever. And the whole first hour that we were on the road already, that filly has been shaking the trailer back and forth and she refused to settle. So when we were fueling up here, and we stopped, I said to Jay, I'm going to turn her around because she needs to see her mom. She's got to smell her. So we turned her around. Now she's fine. Hasn't made a peep.
Yeah, it's been super quiet back there now. Like the trailer's not really set up for it, but she doesn't seem to care. Plus, she's also unhooked, right?
What?
Yeah, she's not hooked up.
She's not tied right now.
Yeah.
No, but she can see her mom, and I think that's the biggest thing. You got to figure out what their problem is. Like the one that kicked the side of my trailer, we actually ended up unloading both of those horses and switching them so that she could see the other horse, but she couldn't quite kick her nearly as bad. She did end up injuring the other horse on the trailer, and the Amish guys were not upset at me, and they understood. But I put the kicking horse on the back side of the trailer and just tried to relocate so she wasn't doing as much damage than where she was, which is where she was in the front, which is why she bowed out my wall. So you kind of just have to figure out what their problem is. Is it the horse trailer itself? Is there an issue that they can't see another horse? Is it an issue they're near an extra horse anyway? You just kind of have to figure it out. Otherwise, you got to go with it. And I haven't had one that I haven't figured out what the problem was yet, really.
sometimes you do just have to, like, especially with the younger ones, you just have to let them kind of
Yeah.
work it out.
Yeah.
And they get angry and they like throw themselves about a bit and like they make a big show of it and then they calm down because they just
They have to.
They don't have, they realize that their attitude isn't going to change the situation.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a realization they necessarily come to, but they just like it's the struggle stops being worth it for them.
Yeah.
And then they calm down, and you call that what it is, but like they got to get where they're going.
Right.
So.
Well, like George, the first hour that George the Saddlebred was on the last trip, he was kicking on the 4-horse, and you could feel it even on the 4-horse trailer.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
he was pawing and kicking the whole first part of the trip, and then it just kind of settled in. And,
But it took him a
and
while.
went with it.
He was very hard nosed though.
Yeah.
He held on to his attitude for a long time.
Yeah, he did.
But he settled down even with the other horses on, right?
Yeah. No, the sheep. He had sheep with him.
He had sheep, yes.
So just
Favorite
kind of go with it.
favorite pit stop location.
What's your favorite pit stop location? Jared?
I can answer this question. So actually, it was on this trip, and I will absolutely make sure to stop there again. It was in Ohio
On 80,
on 80 in a place called JoJo's, and it was
off the Sharon exit.
off the Sharon exit. Yes, and this place was like a truck stop pulled out of time. I remember when I was a kid, and I'm not going to date myself, but I will say
Hey,
that
Lisa.
I will say that as a child, I was no stranger to riding in the back of the Woody station wagon, and the cops never had a problem with it.
Right.
So I'm that kind of old. So, but we would do long road trips. My dad was in the service; he was in the Navy, and he was stationed down in Norfolk, and all of our family lived up here.
Barbara says my house for favorite pit stop location.
Barbara, I didn't want to make anyone else jealous. Like, I'm not going to lie. We pulled up to your place, and here you come with a whole styrofoam cooler full of food. And I had never experienced anything like that, and so it definitely, like, in terms of surprises and just like heartwarming moments, 100%. Yes, favorite pit stop.
Lisa says Buc-ee's.
I do like Buc-ee's. But Buc-ee's gets old. Actually, Buc-ee's gets old kind of quick.
Buc-ee's did get old kind of quick.
Like
Yeah.
even the food, like most of the food, I was really impressed with at the beginning, and then I'm like, it's all right. It's kind of like over seasoned and like
Yeah.
like the turkey. I thought I was gonna be really impressed with, but it was just like all
It
pepper.
was nothing but pepper. You could smell it.
It was
from
like
the other side of the truck.
fully unpalatable. But like.
But he loved the JoJo's.
But this JoJo's, like, it had that old, like, stanky arcade, like, where half of the machines, like, have broken monitors and, like, stuff doesn't work. It had those stalls where, like, locals would post up and, like, sell tools or, like, gadgets or,
The one had a convenience area in there.
yeah.
Like,
There was
snacks and food, magazines.
there was a whole, like, truck toys section where, like, you could buy new, like, chrome stacks and whatever for your tractor or
I
whatever.
really wanted to go through there again.
I bet you did. And they had 2 diners in it. And the one diner that we stopped at had this lady. She was a combination waitress and cook. And she was curmudgeonly and foul-mouthed and wonderful. And I loved her. And I wanted to put her in my pocket and take her home. But, and it was just like a greasy spoon that made a half-decent, actually a pretty damn decent breakfast burrito. And just like the whole place was like all the truck stops now are so corporatized. And every place you go, every place there is to go, right off the highway, you have to go way off the beaten path to find anything that's not owned by some like multinational conglomerate.
Pilot and loves.
that has just sanitized and just stripped away all the character from these businesses that used to be representative of the people who lived and worked in those areas.
Yeah.
And catered to the people who drove through and the kinds of people they were and the things that they were interested in. I'm not mad at like some of the developments, like I love nice, clean bathrooms and showers. I love those. I love knowing that if I go into a Love's or a Pilot, I know exactly what's going to be on the shelf. So like I don't have to think about it before I get there. I know exactly what I'm going to get. But like also, it takes some of the fun, some of the novelty out of, or just like having a favorite spot. Just like I want to go, like, oh, I remember this spot. We stopped here 2 years ago, and you stop in and it's exactly the same, and it's like has just as much character.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a.
No,
that
that one
burned
caught
up.
on fire.
Yeah, that trailer burned up.
I know.
But yeah, almost without an exception, any place that is representative of a region or of a town, some place that feels like real people own the place and work there, is always going to be that place is always going to capture my heart.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to be. We stopped by. I like telling this story. We stopped by some place in Ohio, in the mountains, and I couldn't even tell you where we were. I don't even remember what route we were on, but like it was like a back road, and it wasn't a back road. We had to leave the highway and we had to drive a bit to get some gas because the gas stations right off the highway weren't open.
I was trying to remember which part of this trip. Keep going. I'll remember eventually.
And I pull in, and we pull in, and like they have like a little diner, like not like a diner, but like a.
We were headed to Florida.
Yeah, it was on the Florida trip.
It was a Florida-Texas trip. Because we had a horse to pick up in Ohio at the edge of the Pennsylvania-Ohio border.
Right. And then it just kept taking us through Ohio.
Yeah.
But so it had like a little like lunch counter. Not really like a diner, but just like a, take it and go sort of like lunch counter. And they serve beef stew. And I'm like, beef stew, exactly what you need in a car.
Rest stop.
It just like, let me just stop. Let me drive down the road with my cup of beef stew.
And my dad would get it.
And we talked about, like her dad would be like, oh, look, beef stew.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't had a good cup of beef stew in a long time.
This sounds really good.
And he'd be super excited about it. And I'm just sitting here trying to picture eating beef stew in a moving vehicle.
No, you drink it. You don't scoop it with a spoon. You drink it right out of the cup.
It's not very good stew if you
I didn't say it was good stew. All I said is you just drink it like you drink it.
Anyway, I just thought it was very charming that they had a lunch counter there that was proud of their beef stew.
Yeah, no,
and
it's cool.
Like in middle of the night, just like anytime I see someplace like that, I'm going to stop in.
Yeah.
Like I will drag Emily a couple of miles off the road if something looks interesting to me.
Yeah, he definitely will, and I'll go. Usually willingly.
Your turn. Favorite pit stop?
My favorite pit stop?
Besides Barber's.
Besides Barber's. I don't really have a favorite one. I like the conveniency of the Buc-ee's with their large parking lots. And they are always going to have something if I need something. Because like if I want a sandwich and I know I'm gonna eat it, I'll buy one of their sandwiches because there's a lot to them.
It's a lot of food for $10.
It is a lot of food. I bought a couple of t-shirts at Buc-ee's needing something a little bit different to wear. I bought some Christmas presents from Buc-ee's. Already they're stashed away. Lately I've not been liking the Loves because every time we go by they're like over $4 a gallon for diesel.
Yeah.
So
they're gouging.
Yeah, they're bad.
Even
so
right down the road from someplace charging less than $4.
Yeah.
It'll be like $4.15.
It'd be like $4.20 or $4.15 on the Love side, and then something else would be like $3.60. I'm like, well, that's an easy decision to go with.
Another one. This one,
that's a trailer on its side.
They're emptying it out.
They're emptying it out, yeah.
Oh, he took over the semi too.
Dang. So that's 3 trucks so far on this trip. Oh, thank you, Linda. Yeah, I don't really have a favorite pit stop. I just like finding different things. Like back here, we stopped at a Quick Star.
I think the first time we've been to it. No, we've been to a Quick Start once before, but it was like really late at night when they didn't have anything
Yeah,
out.
they had nothing out. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and Jay was like, "I need something to eat," and I was like,
They did have like old burgers, and even then they weren't bad.
right. But those first times that we've stopped while they were actually like full on service open, and I bought a hat with a light in it, type of thing. So I just like finding the novelty of the different things at the different places. But like, as long as they have what I need, I'm great, cool. So
Anything from the chat?
no. Linda Dewey says she loves my hair. Hey Nicole.
Hillary wants to know what is the funniest thing that has happened.
Funniest thing that's happened.
Yeah, I pre-read this one before we started the live, trying to think of something, and so many things just happen like on the fly that don't like cement.
Yeah. Oh no, the one you like to say is, a building.
Oh, is that the Brooklyn Bridge?
Well, that was the last trip.
It's mostly just a lot of like running gags that like if you were not there when it first started, it's not going to be funny.
There was a couple of trips, so we've gone through Ohio a couple of different times now.
I do like making fun of Ohio.
He does. On one of the trips, apparently, one of us said something about, "Hey, what do you think they're building over there?" Now he remembers.
It's like a construction site, and I'm like, it's a construction site. It's like several stories tall, and I'm like, what do you? And Emily's like kind of like looking at her phone, and you can tell she's like getting ready to go to sleep. She's getting
ready to
like,
crash.
She's crashing out, and I pointed, and I'm like, what do you think they're making over there? And she looks up and goes,
Huh?
A building? Like the most earnest response ever. And it just sounded so bratty. I had I was gobsmacked. I had no idea. I'm like, where do I go with this? Like, I feel like I was just completely shut down.
You were!
That I went silent. And so the next time we drove past it, which wasn't even that long later, like she was full asleep.
And I did not remember.
I tapped her. I'm like, hey, what do you think they're making there? And she goes,
What?
huh? And then I realized how stupid it was. I laughed.
Now I think it's hilarious. Every once in a while he brings it up on a trip.
What do you think they're making there? A building?
Building.
There are very situational funny moments.
Yeah.
That like I don't know if I could like pick out a funniest moment.
There definitely been a few times I've cried while laughing on these trips with you.
Jeez. There are some moments that are only funny in hindsight, like like crossing the George Washington Bridge.
Hey, is that the Brooklyn Bridge?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I could like nail down one. It's so like situational.
It is.
If I said something I thought was funny and you didn't have like the context or you weren't there, it'd just be like, okay,
It's not the same.
you guys are just silly.
The Brooklyn Bridge thing came about because of this last trip that we did.
In Brooklyn.
Yeah, I saw the sign. There's no bridge.
How do you know?
Well, I mean, we're going over one. So
There's
is that the
a
Brooklyn
bridge near Brooklyn. I said that if I ever had a chance to go to New York City with somebody who knows the area,
the New York native,
I would just point at every single bridge and ask, is that the Brooklyn Bridge? And until they got really mad at me. And then eventually I'd point at the Brooklyn Bridge and say, is that the Brooklyn Bridge? And they'd say, yeah. And they'd be really, really mad. And then I would point at the next bridge and say, is that the Brooklyn Bridge? And then, then they would presumably throw me out of the car.
probably would.
All right. Let's see. Sorry to let you down on the funniest thing. It's sadly they're just so like in the moment.
Yeah.
All right, a little off the track of road trips. What is your favorite Christmas memory or tradition?
Favorite Christmas memory or
Wendy.
tradition? know for our family, what we've started for the kids is that because they are 5 days before Christmas with their birthday, we will get the Christmas tree and put it up. But we don't decorate it until after their birthday. And so we don't get to enjoy like a lot of the pre-Christmas like ornaments and lights on the tree like everybody else does. But we also leave it up 2 weeks after Christmas as well. So when everybody's already got their trees down and out the door, I'm like, nope, I'm still reveling in this a little bit longer. So that's one that we've started. But I think a lot of mine are based around my family living up on the hillside. I still get a lot of the flashbacks of sitting in this gigantic window in my mother's house. And my mother's got a window from our dining room, not really dining room, but like our little kitchen nook area. And Ellie has been in there now, so she would know what window I'm talking about. The window itself is like 4 foot by 4 foot square. It's a massive window. Super leaky and drafty, but it's great. And you can see the whole valley down through there. And had I been home on this last snowstorm, like childhood in me would have been like right at that window watching the snowfall and just kind of like seeing the whole world change from the brown and the drab to this the white blanket, literally like a white blanket. And it's one of the more beautiful parts, and I think that little bit of a childhood memory sticks in my head more than anything. And right now I need to get the window in my kitchen changed to something like that because I missed that part of it. So that's mine.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Mine is what cheer?
Oh no, it does say what cheer.
It says what the town's name is what cheer.
What cheer? Iowa, you're weird.
Mine's actually really simple. Every single Christmas morning since I was a little kid, Mom used to make and she called them Egg McMuffins, but they were really Mom's like own thing. It was like an English muffin with like a cracked egg on it, but they don't like break the yolk like they do.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's like still has a runny yolk.
Yeah.
And the Canadian bacon and the cheese, you know, just like an Egg McMuffin, but like it's bigger. She does them in the oven, and like it's just one of those things. Like it's not even a particularly good breakfast sandwich, but it's just that combined with Christmas morning, and you know, like just that and a nice tall glass of orange juice, stuff that I don't like enjoy too much now, or take time to enjoy too much now. And even my mom passed in 2021 on Christmas Day.
Yeah, that was sad.
But we still make the Egg McMuffins. We still make the sandwiches on Christmas morning.
That's
so
awesome.
you know, even if it's just me and Dad and Sharon.
Yeah.
So you know, that's mine. It ain't much, but it's cute. I like it.
No, it's good. It's something. It takes it something a little bit more, a little bit mundane to make it a little bit worth a little bit something more.
Yeah.
So, Julie Novak says, "You're rocking the beards. Does it help keep you warm?"
It does. It does. I was. Let's see. It was last year. I was in a production, or I was in a show. We were doing a shadow cast of The Princess Bride, and I was doing the albino, and I'm like, I'm going to shave my beard for this.
Oh, God, yeah.
And
it wasn't a good idea.
It was not a good idea. It was a terrible idea, and my face was cold. I haven't shaved my beard since like 2008.
You look completely different.
I have shortened it. I've trimmed it, but I have not gone.
When you were beardless.
I have not gone beardless. Let me grab a quick picture here.
God, you're gonna pull it up?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just.
I mean, it is a bad thing. All right.
Come on, pepperoni bag. Aha! I got it.
Hello, Google Photos. I would like to search, please.
No, not to. No, search it for you.
Well, they force you to use AI now. In
I know.
Google Photos. I hate this. Alright, where am I? So, yes, the short answer is that the beard absolutely does help keep my face warm. It helps like with the wind. I'm not happy about this picture, but this is absolutely.
That is Jay Beardless.
That is me beardless. I have negative chin, and this like fat neck thing going on, but I'm not proud, but it is my face.
Jay with beard looks a lot better.
And here I am as the albino. Yeah, I definitely prefer myself bearded.
Yeah.
I was meant to have a beard.
Yeah, you were. And I don't know if comments are working or anything. I've got Cassandra said hello, and that was the last of it. So I just haven't seen updates. I'm just saying, if you're sending them, I'm not getting them, which is not uncommon. So next.
Best and worst hauling gig.
Well, we kind of went over some of the worst ones already.
Yeah, mostly with the difficult. Well, you had the one where before I started riding with you, where you got stuck in the mud.
No, that was with Megan. I'll never go back to that location again. I don't think I'll have to, hopefully. I picked up a horse someplace up in the Finger Lakes area at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and it had just rained heavy across the entire area. And I had this truck less than a year when I did that gig, and had the 2 horse on, and the guy wanted me to back down between these 2 barns, and I wasn't as good then as I am now, and now I probably could have done it. Then I was not getting it. Couldn't get it in there. He says, so why don't you loop it down around in the pasture? And I was like, is it muddy? He's like, yeah, you should be fine. And I'm getting down into this pasture, and it was nothing but slick, and I knew it was going to be slick. So I dropped that thing into 4-wheel drive, and I did the fastest and tightest loop that I was able and possible to get, and just about got myself stuck when the tires got some sort of grip somewhere, and launched us through that fence gate. But we came quite close to hitting the fence gate as the truck was trying to slip sideways a couple of different ways. But I know I posted pictures. I have pictures of the truck and the trailer. It's just splattered with mud up the side of it. It was awful. And that my poor truck needed a wash after that trip. I think by the end of the trip we'd ran through some rain, so it washed off a lot of it. But definitely when I came home, I ran it through. Because I was like, my poor undercarriage, I don't need it getting rusty underneath of that.
If I had a nickel for every time I've said that.
Right? So that was pretty bad. We've had some tight places getting in and out of with the trailers, but we've always gotten ourselves out. Dropping up George was fun. Not. When I got that turned around. Best hauling trip though?
It has to be the $8,000 one.
The what?
The last one. Texas. Or not,
Texas.
like, the one that was very profitable, and everything ran smooth.
Yeah, I would have to say probably, yeah.
Like, nothing particularly exciting, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, because we had the 2 horses coming out of New York, and then the one we picked up in Pennsylvania. Then we went right down to Florida. We dropped off the 1, dropped off the 2. We were empty, so you and I stayed at a hotel.
In Florida, yeah.
Down in Florida.
Across both, we hit both coasts in Florida.
East and West Coast.
And then drove the Panhandle again, even though you promised me I'd never have to.
Picked up 3 horses. Drove all the way to Texas. Dropped off the 3. we picked up 2 horses. Came back, but this way we went to Georgia, dropped off apples to my friend in Georgia, North Carolina. We kind of did a loop into Virginia, came back to North Carolina, and went back north. But it wasn't really a bad trip. Very profitable
Yeah.
for both of us for a change.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the kind of trip that'll spoil you.
Yeah, it was. Not quite as profitable this trip, but it could have been had I had my bigger trailer. But
Yeah, 'cause we had an opportunity to pick up another run.
yeah, I could have had another horse onto the trip. But
Well, we probably would have screwed ourselves for a hotel stay then.
no, because that was a pickup in Iowa and move it to Indiana.
Yeah, true. We would have just been on the way back.
Right. We would have grabbed it after these 2.
Yeah.
We dropped it off before these 2. The end of the last trip, though, that we did, where we moved just a couple of horses from Massachusetts to Virginia, we were able to grab breakfast in Virginia
Yeah.
and had a slow ride home. So that was always good, too.
Yeah, good pictures of that one too.
Oh, yeah, there were some great pictures of that trip. And I did not mean to offend any of the Pennsylvania inhabitants of my comments about how Pennsylvania is trying to be as pretty as Virginia. But I had one comment about, I'm offended. And I'm like, I didn't mean it that way.
Listen, nobody forces you to live there.
Oh! Such a punk. Hey, Shannon. Julie. Oh! Of Megan. Yeah. Alright, well, let me get through these before we get into that.
We're pretty much at the end of it. The last one is the who are the worst drivers?
Oh, Ellie.
State, sex, and age. I don't think. We were
talked
talking about this.
a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think that there's really we don't really pay too much attention to who the driver is. We just see the bad driving.
Yeah.
And they're really all over the place. But Florida was particularly bad.
Florida was really bad because they'll cut you off and not pay attention. They're about as bad as Jersey.
Jersey is really
Jersey's
bad.
awful.
But I gave the caveat that Jersey really can't help it.
Yeah.
Because all of Jersey is like that, and if you don't drive super aggressively, you're going to get run over. So, like, you can't... I almost can't blame Jersey drivers for being that way. because if they weren't that way, every other Jersey driver would still be.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so you can't be the exception in a war zone. You can't be the one pacifist in a war zone. So, I almost have to give Jersey a pass, but as an outsider, I do not prefer driving in Jersey.
Oh, it's
Even
awful.
the side roads, anywhere there are other drivers, like everyone is just trying to get
The gas
one
station
car ahead.
lady.
Oh my God! All right,
Gas station.
like anywhere I've ever been, if you see a truck like hauling a camper and they're like, or hauling a thing, they're loaded up. They're trying to move stuff around. They like creep out into traffic a little bit. What does the traffic do? They get frustrated, but they stop. Not in Jersey.
Not in Jersey.
No, in Jersey they're going to squeal around you. They're going to cut off oncoming traffic because you're taking up their lanes. So like, what am I supposed to do? Stop? Can't do that. I'm not gonna get worked up.
No, but the lady in the parking lot.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, because Emily's like backing the trailer up, and she's like edging near this lady's like Toyota Sequoia.
Desperately needed diesel in the truck. We were like running to the point of like, if I don't get it now,
we were
I don't
on
know what
fumes.
we're gonna do.
So we were in a bad spot in this parking lot. It was a tiny parking lot. It's Jersey, so you're not allowed to pump your own fuel. So I'll get to the best part of this story in a second.
Oh.
So Emily's trying to do like a Austin Powers like 47-point turn to turn around to get this single diesel pump on the correct side of the vehicle.
Yep.
And there's this lady there coming from, because there's like a shop, like a automotive shop built into the gas station, and she has her like 2007 Toyota Sequoia that Emily's like backing up near. She's like within 5 feet of it, and this lady is like losing her mind because she swears she's gonna get hit.
Yep.
Again, in her defense, just so I'll give any individual in Jersey a pass. Jersey is a insurance optional state, so if somebody without insurance cracks up your car, if you don't have insurance, you're stuck.
It's on you.
So I'll give her that much of a pass, but like she did not need to be getting as extra as she was. Like policing where Emily was in relation to other vehicles and stuff like that.
Yeah, it
worry
wasn't
about your
just
own
hers.
thing. Okay, but anyway, so Emily finally does a successful like 400-point turn
It was not that bad.
and gets the one single diesel pump alongside the driver's side
truck.
door where it needed to be. And the attendant comes out and says, "Is your truck diesel?" We said, "Yeah." He goes, "That's regular." It's a diesel station. The only place I have ever seen this in my entire life,
I've never
of course,
seen it like that,
would be
ever.
frickin' Jersey. The other 4 pumps, the main 4 pumps in the island, were all diesel only, and the single like pump standing off near
Regular
the street
fuel.
was regular fuel. What?
It's always the opposite, so that's what I assumed.
So fortunately, I'm getting laughing. People are laughing at us.
That's okay. I expect that to happen.
So slow connection. Sorry about me looking like a
You're-
PowerPoint slideshow. So fortunately, the attendant must have
Understood.
seen our shenanigans before,
Oh yeah, he was watching.
because he was finally like, okay, and he like held off new cars coming to the island. He's like, just back up a bit and we're like, but we're not on the right side. He goes, don't worry about it. And this guy, this champion, this hero, this bro, slides the whole hose under the truck
He did too.
to get it
So it reached the tank.
to the reach the tank, and it just like barely. He was like sideways a little bit, but he got us fueled up and got us back on the road,
We
and
got
we got
there.
back on the highway eventually, and got the hell out of Jersey. I'm sure, like, Jersey is a beautiful state. You take a look around some stuff in there, and it's like you can see this like mix of old and new.
Yeah.
There's clearly a lot of investment in the state because they actually tax their corporations.
Right.
So like, there's a lot to love about Jersey, but I will affirm that's only if you already live there.
Yeah.
I can't imagine anybody going, I think I'm going to move to Jersey.
Mm-mm.
I fully understand why people from Jersey fiercely defend their state. But
Oh, sure, they love it.
But you never hear them trying to convince somebody to move there.
No.
either. Because they know.
Yeah.
They know they're kind of weird. They know they're Jersey. At the end of the day, Jersey people know they're Jersey. And they're not trying to convince anybody else to come and be there too.
Right. We missed a bunch of stuff. Virginia up and down, around and around. I love Virginia. It's a beautiful state.
I love Virginia. We had that beautiful, what road were we on? 60? Like the last one,
No.
where we were able to take a second
Yeah,
road.
221 and
300?
something else. Not 300, no.
Anyway, yeah, it was like a state road, but it was different because normally we take 77
Right.
and was it 81? The one
Yeah,
that's further-
81's normally the big road we take.
Yeah, 81's the one that's closer to the coast, right?
Mhm.
And 77's more inland. 77's the one we take going to David Steps.
Right.
Yeah, Virginia is an absolutely beautiful state, and I'll take any opportunity to take side roads or whatever in that state because there's always something beautiful to see.
Yeah. Chicago's like that. Yeah. I've drove through Chicago a couple of times. Once with Jay, once with Brett. It's hit or miss. Like the one time with Jay, we actually smooth sailed through it pretty easily.
Yeah, it was the middle of the night. It was 3 in the morning.
The one time with Brett, it took me an hour to go a mile because
Uh-huh.
of traffic. It was awful.
And then we were driving through during a
During the
rainstorm.
rainstorm.
And the visibility was terrible, and the roads were slick, and it was construction everywhere.
Yeah.
And you could tell the local truck drivers were just barreling through.
Yeah.
And they had no time for my nonsense because I'm driving like I'm doing 45 and a 50
Right.
because I'm trying not to hit the barriers on either side because the roads are like because you got 6 inches of give on either side.
Yeah, exactly.
And the rain is pouring down, and yeah, it was very. That was kind of
That was
terrifying.
a rough trip. Lori, you can't stand the Jersey Turnpike. 10 times worse than Rochester. Yes, it is.
Oh my God, I love Rochester.
Rochester's great, but it's better than the Jersey Turnpike. Have we ever ran out of gas? No, God, no. Come close! We've definitely come close. I've come home on fumes before, but I also know that my gas station that's closest is just down the road, and that's all native diesel, so I get cheaper down there.
I've run us down a little lower than I would like.
Out of necessity more than anything, though.
It was mostly like that first like trip
Yeah.
when I was still getting used to. I'm like, we got time, and then the light goes on, and I'm like, we don't got time.
We don't get that. You gotta get it now. Do I charge extra for Jersey Turnpike trips?
We should.
I should. I haven't.
We really should.
I'm going to start.
We need to. We need to like start paying more attention to when we're doing toll roads.
Yeah.
Because like
That last bill for the New York Turnpike.
a single
Up in New
out
York.
and back on the 90 across New York State, not even counting the other states that like also tag on the 90.
Right.
Just the 90 out and back is $140
Yeah. It's crazy.
with 4 axles.
Yeah. And I'm going to end up paying that this trip, at least from way before Buffalo to clear out to the other side. Because I did the whole arc of 90.
Yep.
And then now we're going to have to pay for Pennsylvania border to Syracuse and then back to Buffalo because I have to take him home. So, yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Toll roads and turnpikes are very expensive.
But
Barbara lived in Jersey for years. Enough said. Virginia is where the snacks are. We love snacks. But I think the worst drivers and stuff that I've always seen on plates is either Texas, which, yes, some of you Texas people
don't use your turn signals.
use your turn signals.
And respect other people's turn signals. I turn my turn signal on, it means I mean to turn. Not like in 10 miles, but like now.
Right. Florida's pretty bad. Because, well, there's been... I mean, every time we go down, we've always seen a major accident. Closed off something.
Yeah.
Jersey... Well, we've already talked about Jersey.
We don't talk about Jersey.
We don't talk about Jersey.
We don't talk about Jersey. No, no, no.
Connecticut's is iffy here and there sometimes. Massachusetts is iffy here and there sometimes. New York, y'all are on the list too.
Downstate.
Yeah, more downstate than upstate, but there are definitely some upstate in the city people that are bad.
I mean, like, Buffalo gets a little hairy sometimes.
Buffalo has its people, I'll tell you that right now.
Buffalo gets a little hairy around rush hour, but rush hour doesn't last very long.
It
And
doesn't have to be rush hour.
but anytime it's not rush hour, you almost got the space for people to be idiots because the roads are not really super congested. So, like, as long as you don't have an overdeveloped sense of justice.
I don't know, we're talking.
As long as you're not like taking every little like motion personally, you just let people be jerks. And
I let people in on these last couple of trips.
You let them fly ahead and get the hell out of your way.
I hate it. Hate it. You know the road is coming to an end. You know the lane is coming to an end.
Yes.
You know that there's construction or something going on. Why do you fly up and down? You realize that you're slowing traffic when you do that, right? When you fly down that empty lane knowing it's going to merge, and you want to be that person to make people merge because you needed to jump 20 cars ahead, you're the reason where 20 cars stopped, right? hate it. I hate it.
It's gonna be okay.
I am the truck driver that blocks that lane.
You are.
I am the one that I'm inches from the truck ahead. Because no, you're not getting in. Don't do it. He's too nice. Shut up. You like me. You wouldn't come with me otherwise.
Yeah. You keep it interesting.
So yeah, that's my thing. He hated it when I did that to people in Texas. And he won't let me live it down, which I don't care most days. I was nice on the last one.
Yeah.
Stupid. Lori says if I'm traveling, I do the non-toll directions on the GPS. So the last trip that we did, Massachusetts to New York to Massachusetts to Virginia and back. I was telling Jay about my toll cost for the month of November was $300. And so from New York to Massachusetts, we decided not to do toll roads. It added a whole hour onto the trip and took down some side roads.
Mountains and side roads and...
We were not fans.
It was more than an hour. It did add more than an hour. It added probably about an hour and a half, but like that hour, the entire drive, it added an hour and a half to 10 hours of driving, which isn't the worst thing in the world. And if you're going to save $150, you might as well. But like one thing about that is that most of the driving was like 35, 45 miles an hour instead of 65. So that's where a lot of your time loss is. But also, it's through a lot of hills and a lot of winding and a lot of speeding up and slowing down.
And you use the fuel.
You use the fuel. You're only getting 12 miles to the gallon regardless on a good day, on the highway. When you start adding in stop and go and speed up and slow down and hills, that can drop to, 8 or 9 miles to the gallon real quick.
Yes.
And so you start eating up, next thing you know, you burned up $100 worth of fuel that you wouldn't have otherwise.
Right.
So where did you really save money?
Yeah, exactly.
And especially at night, it's much more stressful driving.
Yeah, he didn't like that whatsoever. So this trip that we just did we didn't do skip toll roads.
No. I would do it again if it was like necessary, but one, I don't think it saves that much money.
Right.
Like, especially when towing. I don't think it saves that much money, and especially driving overnight, there is so much more opportunity for things to go wrong.
Yeah.
Like, that you don't even necessarily, like, that you don't, like, you can catch a bad spot on the road. There's more opportunity for deer. Like, there's so many more opportunities for something to go wrong on the back roads.
And when we're hauling horses like we are, it's really not worth it.
But, like, coming up a state road or something like that, usually it's fine. Like, I'll take 20.
Yeah. Oh, no,
I'll take 20. 20 is, like, almost all the way straight. Same thing with 33.
Yep.
But, like, those are limited space.
Yeah.
Those are if you're going from one section in New York to another section in New York.
Right. That's not from one end to the other.
Right.
Barbara says Massachusetts drivers called mass holes. I didn't make that up.
Yeah. But that's mostly like the city mass folks who are assholes.
How often we pit stop? I heard the soda open.
Oh.
He's been drinking Arizona tea usually. We'll pit stop if, one, we need fuel. Two, if I feel like the trailer's been shaking for whatever reason, I need to get off and check the horses. If we've got to stop for any reason. Otherwise...
She's got the bladder. She holds water like a camel.
I can go a day without stopping.
It's unnerving. Like, the other night, she slept 8 full freaking hours throughout, probably about 7 hours through the night. I stopped 3 different times to use the bathroom, and every time I'm like, do you need to use the bathroom? No. And I'm like, she's going to wake up, her teeth are going to be floating.
I think it was another 3 hours after I woke up.
You woke up and it was, we were all the way through Pennsylvania before we finally stopped and you got out. Matter of fact, it wasn't until we switched over.
Yeah. So
Me-
that would have been.
I don't play that way. I take every opportunity to stretch my legs. Because what's 15 minutes? You know, like, yes, it'll add up. I won't.
It does add up.
It does add up, but for me, it's about every 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, I'll stop.
I'm trying to remember when I stopped for that alone.
I usually won't leave the highway to just use the bathroom, though.
Massachusetts. I went in Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
So then we went from Massachusetts to New Hampshire.
Mhm.
I fell asleep in New Hampshire. So that would have been New Hampshire to Massachusetts, Connecticut to Pennsylvania. Clear to the other side of Pennsylvania before I went again. It's like easily 12 hours or something. Yeah, I have an iron bladder. Like, forget it. I have a trucker's bladder. Gene, I thought turning signals were just blinking Christmas lights. Just leave them on.
It's decorative.
Yeah, exactly. Preach.
I'm just here to,
Wendy
to
says,
raise the
preach.
spirits.
She feels the same way.
What?
Stop the people from driving down the road where they don't need to be.
Listen. You know what? Most of the time it's fine, but she chooses to like take on these like moments when I'm trying to sleep.
It is, unfortunately, when
And
he's trying to
she
sleep,
will ride.
and I'm going like right on the brake.
She will be
Gas.
like a car
Brake.
length
Gas.
away, hauling 1,500 pounds behind us. Well, with the trailer, probably closer to 3,000.
Trailers only were just 1,000 pounds, maybe.
Okay, and then 1,000 pounds of horse.
Right. So there's
1,200
only
pounds of
2,000
horse.
pounds. It's only a ton back there.
Oh, only a ton. So hauling a ton
It's only a ton.
and hanging out a car's length, a sedan's length behind some guy that cut her off.
I am paying attention.
I'm over here. Hang on. Let me paint you a picture, okay? So here I am. I got my pillow.
Or if I accidentally
I
hit
got
the
my
robo
pillow.
strip.
I got my hat pulled down. I'm just on the edge of sleep, just getting ready to conch you, and then all of a sudden I'm sliding down the seat because somebody had to stop. But yeah, no, the problem is me. I can't sleep well during the day.
I'm not a bad driver.
Next thing I'm in the footwell.
You make me sound awful.
No, she's a really good driver. She's a really good driver. You just.
I have moments, but I'm always safe with the horses. Not injured any of them.
You're a very safe driver. You know exactly how to handle your vehicle. You know exactly how long it takes for you to brake.
It does. I do. You guys have a safe trip. This is amusing. I gotta go. The circulation's going. I need to walk around myself. Well, have fun, you guys. What about water and hay for the horses? So every time that we stop, we always try to peek in. I have cameras ordered finally for the trailer, so we can actually keep a better eye. I'm waiting for them to come in. And always check their hay bags, make sure they have hay. Like this minis that we hauled, like the one mini, she didn't touch her hay bag whatsoever. She refused. Adamantly refused.
Yeah.
The stallion, on the other hand, he was like, yes! Like, I'm eating all of the hay. And he did too. He cleaned every morsel up in his space of the trailer. So, yeah. And Stacy, you know the trailer, so I had that bottom divider in, thankfully, because I had a stallion and a mare to keep separate from each other. So, that was a good addition on this trailer for this trip. But that stallion, like, ate everything. So I was throwing more hay to him, so he had something to eat the trip. And there's been a couple of times we've filled hay bags 3-4 times for these guys before. Water, I don't offer water because there's no really good way to suspend water buckets in the 2-horse trailer. I don't offer it as much on these winter trips because they don't tend to drink as much. But
Yeah, but then they just like dip their lips.
yeah, they put their lips in it like, nah, I'm good. But like, we'll offer it for them and see if they want it. In the 4-horse, I've actually gotten to the point where I've started just suspending the water buckets and hanging them from the rings in that trailer. And the draft horse drank 3-4 buckets
Oh my God, yeah.
on that trip.
I'm so sad about it.
And the quarter horse that we were hauling didn't hardly touch hers until like the very end before she decided she was thirsty. So you always make sure that they have their needs and things like that. So
In the warmer months, it's every single time we stop for gas.
oh yeah, like that first trip we did to Florida with that big black horse.
Yeah.
Every time we stopped, we always made sure that she had water offered, and she drank pretty good. It was the paint that didn't drink that well.
Yeah. And we don't run our gas all the way down either. We typically only run down to about a half tank before we refill if we got a good price.
Right.
So you figure about every 2.5 to 3.5 hours they're getting offered water. And they don't take it most of the time, but if they'll take every single time they're offered, if they take it, we'll just keep offering
We'll just
it.
keep filling it until they're done drinking.
Yeah.
And if there's anything left, and then we'll drop the bucket in the back of the truck.
But yeah, in the winter they don't tend to be all that interested in it.
Yeah. Wendy says someone has to teach these people some manners.
It doesn't have to be you.
If I could change one person.
You wear enough hats. You don't need to be the rehabilitator of traffic.
I do wear a lot of hats. Yeah. Cameras are great, Raleigh. They are. There, and I'm hoping these ones work out for us. When I'm in a vehicle long, I gotta get out and walk around, or my legs, or your legs feel numb. I don't have that problem. I did bust up my ankle before this trip, though. So my ankle these first 2 days has been a little iffy. Today feels actually pretty good. I looked at Jay last night and standing on the ankle, tying my other boot, or untying the other boot. I'm not sure which anymore, but hey, look at this! I don't hurt. Totally forgetting I'd already dosed myself up with pain meds.
My legs will get a little bit stiff, so sometimes I'll walk around, and it's like I'll walk through like a convenience store or something like that, just to walk, just to
move,
just to get a few steps. I'll get out and I'll realize that I'm walking like a duck.
It does too.
And then, but by the time I'm on my way back to the car, I'm fine. But fortunately, Emily has a very comfortable truck.
Very comfortable.
The seats are leather. They're air conditioned. They're
like, heated.
They have that 5-point like adjustment thing going on, so like you can find a really nice ergonomic position that you're not like where your hips don't lock. And sometimes the knees get a little stiff.
Knees get a little stiff.
You can't really do much. That's just driving. That's just how it goes. Your legs are going to be bent a little bit all the time.
Yep.
But yeah, it's important to get out, walk a little bit. But like, when you're talking a 3 or 4 day push, like sometimes I'd just rather get where I'm going.
Yeah.
Especially on the return trip. Like here, we're probably going to do a lot less stopping on the way back than we did on the way down.
Yeah.
Because now you can smell home.
Yeah, exactly. Home is in the reach.
And the sooner you get home, the sooner you stop spending money on the trip.
Right. Do you ever use your cruise control? I'm using it right now.
I live by
He lives
cruise
off
control.
the cruise control.
I lock that thing at 2 miles over the speed limit max. I don't mess around. I don't speed. I don't mess around with cops. I don't want to get a ticket.
No.
I do not speed. I will maintain with traffic. Like if all the traffic is like flying past me on every lane, I'll speed up just to like keep with traffic. But like I live by cruise control. I don't, and that's mostly just to get tickets, unless the road is greasy.
Yeah.
If the roads are rough or if the visibility is bad, I'll just drive by the pedal.
Yeah.
But I think cruise control is like the best thing ever.
I'll use the cruise control on the long stretch highways. Like right now, we're traveling down 80 East, and it's really not that bad. It's not a lot of stop and go. If they're getting past us, they're getting ahead of us and leaving space. So I just let it go. I won't use it on short side roads. I won't use it off of the main highways typically. Or like this guy is going to get in front of me and then don't slow down. Why? You're not going that much faster than I am.
Why would you
do
pass somebody that close?
Right. Like
he like crossed in front of you less than a car length ahead when there's nobody in front of him for a quarter mile.
Right.
I swear some of these people are just hoping they can get a quick insurance payoff.
Don't touch me, because I'll swear. I especially won't use it if road conditions are bad.
Mm-mm.
Absolutely not. If the road looks slick, like it did on Wednesday morning when I left New York, you couldn't see the road. I was plowing the snow in some cases.
Ooh, yeah.
There was a couple of roads towards the end on that pickup that I was plowing the roads because the plows hadn't touched it. So thank God I bought the aggressive tires for the back of the truck. I gotta replace still the 2 fronts for the aggressive stuff to keep up. But they were still brand new tires put on. They're just not the same brand as what I put on the back. But we'll get them changed over after one of these trips. But
I'd say that cruise control in bad or in adverse road conditions
it's a bad idea.
it's probably I'll bet you that combined with phones is the biggest reason you see these single car accidents.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Because we see these cars in these like horrible roadside wrecks, like a single car just completely lost control, and you're driving down the exact same road they are.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, different cars have different conditions. If somebody has like bald tires or something like that, it can lead to a very completely different driving experience. But like, the roads were never that bad.
No.
But you see these cars completely spun out and in the ditch. Like, the only way that can happen is that they have the cruise control locked in, they catch a soft patch, and they're not paying attention, so they can't correct in time.
Yeah.
And the only way that usually happens is they're also looking at their phone.
Yeah. Well, there was that one trip we were coming back up from Virginia, the end of the Texas trip, and there's this girl that's doing the same speed for a while and
Oh
then
my
speed
God.
up.
Yeah.
And then she'd fall back. And then she'd speed up. And my cruise is on. I'm not changing speed. And she just could not keep up. And I could see in the rearview mirror on her driver's side,
Her face was in her phone
her
the
face
whole
was on
time.
her phone the entire time. You could see it.
And we passed her, and she's just like, and she's just got her, just driving, hand on the wheel, just facing the phone. I'm like, that is so, like, I am not above checking my notifications every now and again. I'll just double tap the screen, see what notifications I got, and then my eyes are back on the road. But like, and if I gotta respond to a text, I'm using voice to text in almost every situation.
I try to, unless the words don't come out the right way.
Or I'm also not above passing the phone over and being like, hey, can you compose a text for me? Like, you got a co-pilot, might as well use them.
Right.
But like, or pull over. Like, nothing you got going on is more important than getting where you're going alive. And even if you don't care about your own safety, this is my little pulpit moment.
I know.
If you don't care about your own safety, think about the other people on the road, because you could, like, every single year I read something about, and I lost somebody in my life because of someone else's reckless driving. And that is like, it's the most tragic freaking thing, because you could be the best driver in the world and your life is still in the hands of somebody else who thinks that looking at their phone and like literally scrolling social media is more important than just like watching the road. My pulpit moment,
You're
like,
fine.
just, if you don't care about your own life, at least give a thought, spare a thought for everybody else's.
Right.
That's my 2 cents.
Yeah. It hits harder when it hits at home. And you guys know me when I'm doing road lights and stuff, I'm always back to looking at the roads and keeping track of things. So.
Right. Well, and plus the positioning that you have your phone is, and the road's empty.
The road is empty.
The road's empty. If it was bumper to bumper, we would have to end the line.
There's the road. That's what it currently looks like.
So, like, you can definitely, from where your phone is and what you are doing with it, is fundamentally different than somebody who is, like, actively engaging with their phone.
Right.
What you're doing
Stacy.
is a little bit more akin to, like, changing the station on the radio.
Right. Stacy's commenting back on something when you were talking about speeding and cruise control.
Mm.
She just says you're probably right about that. I'm not quite sure which part of that, but just saying.
Yeah, with cruise control with bad road conditions, it's because, well, the cruise control isn't going to know, and most vehicles will drop out of cruise control if the traction control drops out. But just a quick patch of black ice isn't going to cause that to happen, and so the wheels will just keep spinning. So unless you have the presence of mind to tap the brake and not hammer the brake, that's the other thing. You hammer the brake when you're sliding, then even when you get to dry road, you're just going to keep skidding.
Yeah.
And then you're out of control, and then you're in the ditch or you're turned over. Like, there's so many ways for it to go wrong. Yeah, I don't ever use cruise control in bad weather.
No. Ellie says an eagle just flew past their window, which means the eagles are back around my property. That's awesome. Julie says, how often do you lose cell service? It really depends on where we are, more than anything.
Most of the highways have good coverage.
Most of them, yeah. New York is generally pretty good, except when we get into the Adirondacks.
Mm-hmm.
Pennsylvania is iffy, depending on where we are. I know northern PA, once you get into like the Allegheny Mountain Range or the Adirondack Mountain Range, it drops down into PA. Forget it, you're not going to hear from anybody. New Jersey's never been a problem. I've had a single spot somewhere in Massachusetts, and I cannot remember where that was. I had no cell service.
Far off the highway.
Yeah, way out the highway. Vermont was only when I went to the Green Mountains. New Hampshire was when I got way back in the boonies delivering a thoroughbred.
Virginia north-south is spotty.
Yeah, it's iffy through Virginia.
Only when you're around, it's weird. When you leave the urban areas, it kind of drops out.
If you pretty much stay on 81, you'll have it the whole way.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in the major cities and suburbs of Virginia, you'll always have it. If you get outside of those, then it gets spotty. Like, definitely getting in down into Barbara, she's got no cell service. You just know when you're getting there, you don't have any cell service. Florida, we've never had a problem. Georgia, we had a problem. Remember that car accident?
Southern Georgia, yeah.
That was southwestern Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
We had to cross from Georgia to Florida to drop off those two horses from the Adirondacks.
Yeah. And there was no...
And the guy was waiting for us. He was like, where are you guys? And like, I'm trying to text him that there was an accident blocking the entire road. And we had no cell service. It was literally like the fog coming up, and like you're waiting for the zombies to walk out of the fog type of deal. And I had medicated the horses on that trip.
Mm-hmm.
And during that scene, and so like it was spotty. So it really just depends on where you are. Stacy says, I had a friend lose her life because she was broken down, had a trucker, was shopping on his phone while driving, hit her car and set her flying.
Yep.
The investigation had found she'd flipped about 10 or so times before coming to a stop.
It's tragic. It's so the worst part of it is how avoidable it is. That's the thing. Like, accidents happen, bad road conditions happen. Like,
slow down, trucker.
Vehicles will jump out of your control. Like, things happen, and life is unfair, and tragedies are just a part of life. But when you take something like in that moment, if you're doing something, especially if it's something you know you shouldn't be doing, like spending excess amount of time on your phone while driving, and if you stop and you think to yourself, if I hit and killed somebody right now, would this, whatever I'm doing, have been worth it?
Right.
The answer is going to be no, 100% of the time.
It's always no.
So, like, if you can avoid it, avoid it. It's not, like, no one is built to split their attention the way that phones demand us to. And, like, nobody is that good of a driver. Nobody is that good of a phone user. Nobody's brain is split into two hemispheres that work independently. Nobody is smarter than... nobody's brain works the way that one needs to work to not be a danger to yourself and others. That's.
No, you're right.
Let me climb back off that pulpit.
You're okay.
It's cold up here.
Gene says preach.
Can I get an amen?
Julie also says, have you noticed some states have crappy roads not taken care of more than others? Pennsylvania.
Dude. Yeah, Pennsylvania's roads are bad.
Yeah.
Like all of them.
Yeah. Ohio's iffy. As long as you're on the main roads of Ohio, you're fine.
Ohio's a lot of road work. So, like, their roads are bad.
Indiana's all road work.
Their roads are bad, but only because they're always fixing their roads.
But yeah, Pennsylvania, oh my gosh, get your act together, please, for fixing your roads. They're bad.
The highway systems are generally not terrible. Pennsylvania has a lot of patches, so it just makes for rough riding.
Yeah,
but, like, there's no parts of it that are dangerously bad. No, like, big potholes and stuff.
Right.
The side roads, yeah, but that you really can't blame on anybody but the municipalities they're in.
Yeah.
But the state highways, in general, all the state highways are pretty damn good.
Generally, the state highways are pretty good. There are patches of 80 through Pennsylvania that really need to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
There are definitely some patches of the New Jersey Turnpike that are bad.
Mm-hmm.
They're bouncy. Oh my gosh.
But, like, how are they even going to get to them? There's so much traffic.
Yeah, right. How do you divert that much traffic?
I don't even understand the logistics of doing that kind of road work.
Not in Jersey.
Same thing with New York City. Like, New York City gets a bad area,
I don't know how they do it.
they have to close down an entire block.
Right. Right. Iowa roads are really nice, actually.
Yeah.
Indiana, I know Indiana all summer had nothing but road construction. And, like, you couldn't see any of the progress being done. Until finally, when we drove it out this way, I was like, wow, there's none of this veer left, veer right, veer left, or veer right. You finally drive a straight road.
I'd say in terms of, like, what you would consider bad, for highways, it's not really so much like road conditions, it's road work.
Road work.
Like, who is most, like, Ohio is king of road work. North, south, east, west, doesn't matter what you're on, you're going to find a 5-mile stretch that is like a nightmare of road work. Same thing with Chicago.
Oh my gosh, Chicago is so bad.
Chicago is just like 100 square kilometers of road work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So yeah, New Jersey highway has, I guess, had patches. Pennsylvania, if we're talking road conditions, New York definitely is in the mix a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially between Binghamton and Albany.
Yeah.
This trucker behind me really wants to get by.
Is that FedEx truck?
No, the blue one that I just let by. It's got Amazon on the side of its trailer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he had his turn signal on when you were passing him.
I know. He's apparently in a hurry. Bye. Have fun.
Okay, bye.
One time when I was working in Iowa, I was driving from Des Moines.
Let me get that. That's a lot of words.
Yeah, there's a lot of words. To Iowa City, which we've just done.
To Iowa City. Really, really bad weather, and it stopped raining, and I saw a tornado
Oh my
in
gosh.
my rear view mirror. I got off at the next exit and ran into a store, and I was told to leave the store. I was told I had to leave the store with the electricity when the electricity goes out. I said, I'm not going outside. There's a tornado out there. When I got to my hotel, they're coming out of when I got to my hotel, they're coming out of the tornado shelter. 3 tornadoes touched down in Iowa City.
Wow.
How long till you get to New York? To cross the border into New York, probably about 10 hours. We got about 13 hours to 13 hours plus stops to our destination, first destination, and then dropping me off. Yeah. Wanda, that is exactly why I love living in New York. We get snow and we get dumped on, but I'll take snow and I'll take some cold over tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, brush fires, wildfires, fire tornadoes,
Crocodiles.
crocodiles. Like, the odds of Mother Nature like actively trying to take you out in Buffalo is very small. She just makes it uncomfortable every now and again, and really that's just like you throw on an extra sweater, you hunker down. Every now and again you lose power if there's a really bad storm, and then you get over it. And you don't even have to worry about like if the power goes out, you don't even have to worry about the meat spoiling in the freezer. You can just throw it out in the snow.
Yeah, exactly.
So, except for, oh God, what was that? 2007, the October surprise, where
I was working for New York State, so it had to have been 2014.
No, that's not. This wasn't like one of the major blizzards.
Oh, okay.
There was, I think it was 06 or 07. The October surprise was.
Oh, it was 06 because that was the year I was in college in Ohio.
It got down to. This was so it's October. So in Buffalo, you're still typically looking at 50, 60 degree weather.
Right.
Like occasionally it gets down to 40. Every now and again you'll get a cold enough for a frost, but like it's never like super stupid cold. And it got down to like 0.
Yeah.
Over
fast.
2 days, and it rained. So and all the trees still had their leaves on them. So all the trees got soaked and then froze and then broke.
Yes.
And they're still fixing trees that
From that storm?
that died in that storm.
Wow. My dad got called up to Buffalo for that storm.
And
That's how I remember that part.
And then it snowed, but it wasn't a lot of snow, but it was icy snow. So like you couldn't go anywhere, and the trees were all dropping, and because the trees were breaking from all the weight from the ice, they were taking out power lines, and so like the whole city lost power.
Yeah.
All the way out to like West Seneca and south of that.
Right.
Like it was the whole region. There was like 500,000 people without power.
That's crazy.
And some of them were out for like over a week. Our house was one of the last ones to lose power, so people were coming over to our house to like charge up batteries and have a warm meal and stuff. And then our power went out when we were hosting like 5 people whose other power had gone out. And I'm like, well, so much for that. And but then the next day it was 50 degrees out.
Yeah, and everything like melted.
Everything melted, and it was fine. You just didn't have any power.
Right. But
So-
that was the storm that the infamous photo was going around of the car that was parked over by the lake. And so it rained and froze over the car. They couldn't get into it. And then it got stuck there, and the wind was blowing the water off the lake.
Yes, and it encased the car in like inches of ice.
Yeah, it was like a foot of ice. The car was like covered in because of the rain, freezing, and then the water blowing off of the lake, covering the car even more in water. And so I know Jade's looking it up right now, but there's an infamous photo of that car out there on the media.
I don't think that's from the October surprise.
No, I'm pretty sure it was.
But
because I remember seeing it when I was going to school out in Findlay, Ohio, and going, oh wow, Buffalo got slammed with that ice storm. And showing all of the people that I was going to school with out there in Ohio, look at this crazy stuff, and I'm pretty sure that was that storm, but it was pretty wicked, honestly. And then it was 2014, I think, or 15, when Buffalo got hit with that 7 foot of snow overnight. And I was waiting to see if they were going to call in our departments to go up there to go do something with it. But I think it was 14, actually. But yeah, that's why we live in New York. pretty bad.
Yeah. They couldn't get this thing to move at all.
It was stuck there. The tires are so frozen to the cement. It's not even funny.
Lake Erie ice car freed from its frozen shell. Yeah, it made national news.
Yeah, it did. It did. It's pretty good.
The ice-coated car had been stuck in a parking lot for over 2 days.
So, Wanda said she lives in Ohio, grew up in Western New York.
That was from 2016.
16? Okay.
There's
so
always something over by the waterfront, though.
So, yeah, like Jay said, we've got about 10 hours till we get to New York. It'll be probably about 6 o'clock in the morning before we drop these guys off. Then I gotta turn around and drop him off, and then I get home. I probably won't see home before 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So tomorrow's gonna be an easy day. I still have.
World's largest truck stop.
Are we stopping?
Yes.
I guess we're stopping at the world's largest truck stop. Is that the next exit?
I
It didn't say. I still have 3 horses to move once I get home too, before I leave for Florida on Monday. Yes, Kathy, I've got 2 Appaloosas on right now. We picked them up in Iowa. We're taking them to Syracuse, New York. Right, Megan update, Julie. Hang on.
I think it is the next exit.
Well,
No, it's not.
it's not. Okay. I guess the owner had died out here, and their family was trying to get the horses out. So they're registered Appaloosas, so they're going to actually a lady that's what she does. She breeds registered Appaloosas. So the Megan update. Again, I can't disclose the massive amount of details I would love to disclose about it, because then it'll tell them if anything gets back to them about who the sources are. And I don't really need that happening, because I like my sources. But I called it last year that things weren't going to go her way. We all knew that. She moved in with Ian, the boyfriend in Cheektowaga. And sources say that the horses have been moved from Pennsylvania to Brant, New York, on his dad's property up there that used to be a junkyard. So, start with that. The amount of acreage is a little under 8 acres for 14 horses. I don't know how she's down to 14, but she is. There's no water source on the property, and there's no shelter. So I don't know how they're faring. I do know they have a truck with a water box or a water container in the back, so they're getting water to them somehow. They moved him because he was tired of having to pay for them to be at this lady's place in Pennsylvania, because they were making them pay $800 a month to keep all these horses there.
Sounds like parking.
Yeah, it was. I do know that she has 5 dogs still in the house, and somehow has fooled Cheektowaga DCOs so far to the point that they haven't taken them out, because you're only allowed in Cheektowaga to have 3. So, as much as I've called, that hasn't changed anything. I also know that his dad is town supervisor and is not so popular with the town lately. The board called him in for investigation of illegal or improper use of town vehicles.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Cheektowaga has his own Facebook group for that. So there's that. The kids don't live with Ian and Megan in the apartment because the apartment smells too bad of the dogs. And Ian's truck got repoed because it couldn't afford the payments. So her little living in paradise with the rich family in Cheektowaga is not going so great. It's not going so great. And I can tell you that Billy is not falling back in the line. That much I can say. So at least she found ground and is not giving in to her anymore. So that's kind of the update that I have right now. I've not been able to figure out where she's at in the court case of animal cruelty down in Pennsylvania. I went looking for like a court update on that, and I couldn't find where they're at with it, whether it's still open or not. I do know she has gotten a few tickets with New York or Pennsylvania for unregistered vehicle for that stupid, ugly red Jeep of hers that she refuses to have registered in New York. So I think at some point she's going to have to deal with that. Or she'll make Ian buy her a new one. She hasn't fooled them. Probably more like favors, like lip service. Well, for Ian, yeah. Not for his parents. I'm going to tell you, they're not fans of Megan right now either. So, there's more details into that part, but again, that would give away sources, and I can't do that just right now. They're just not fans of her anymore. Oh, thank you, Ginger. Appreciate that. She says, love your hair like that again. Because I'd gotten it dyed. Yeah. Where are Megan's kids living now? They're staying either with her in the apartment that they refuse to admit that they live in, I guess. With Billy, who, as far as I understand, is still living in a camper in Ian's dad's parking lot of one of his businesses. Yeah. But he is driving truck. Billy is driving truck.
I shouldn't laugh because there are actual kids involved here, and that is not great.
No. Or they're living in with Ian's mother, who lives right across the street from Ian and Megan. So Wanda, then answer your question about where's Billy. Sam, look, I have the world's smallest violin right here. Right? Yeah, I have no sympathy for her. She makes the bed she lies in. Literally at this point. If she's continued to be a freeloader gold digger on her own stupidity, then that's her problem. And as I've said in a previous live, I've not forgotten about the horses. The rescue lawyer that we worked with is having her own problems. And I'm keeping an eye, like I said. I know where the horses are. And I still gotta get eyes into there, though, somehow. That we'll figure it out. It's gonna end with her being her only fan, pun intended, right? It is sad for the kids. I know, unfortunately, that Jacob is gonna grow up already knowing that his mother's practically crazy. He's never gonna have kids of his own. I see it. He's already admitted to that before they even left our property, because he's been forced to take care of his younger siblings. And the poor kid, I know, is trans because he's expressed behaviors and thought processes of that while he was living on our property, and he's not going to have that support that he needs at home. And I hope in the future he does find it someplace for himself, because he's going to need it. I know Billy supports whatever the kid needs, and that's all that matters. Poor Callie and Wyatt, the little ones, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know how you tell a 2-year-old, go take care of your younger brother Wyatt, when you refuse to get up off your ass. It doesn't make any sense. Wanda, she has the horses that she got, well, she built up while staying with us. I know finally we had gotten Wilson put down after we adamantly went online about that whole situation, and then my stalker went on and tried to make me look like the bad guy in the story, and then I put out my own post about that afterwards. But essentially we got Wilson to be put down. I'm not sure about the others and where things are at around everybody else. So, but yeah, that's how. It is a strange relationship, very much. How's Dragon? Dragon's doing very good. He's still at home. We did not ship him off for training like I was planning on it. I had some issues with the truck. It kind of cut me short on a couple of things. I lost a couple of hauling gigs because of it. And money got a little bit tighter than we really wanted it to. So we're holding it off again. And again, another super wonderful freaking thank you to the lady that bought a massive ton of the gifts for the kids off of their Amazon wish list. Their Christmas is going to be very blessed, and I and Jim are expressing again how much we feel grateful and loved for your help in doing that. And so you're awesome, and thanks again for that. Exactly. So we are getting off at the world's largest truck stop on 80. I've never been inside. We drove by it the one time. So I'm going to clock off. I'm not taking you in with me. I'll take pictures. But it was good to have another one of our regular road lives again. And we'll see you again, at least on a road live for Florida for sure, because it'll be me and Dad. Everybody's turning. But I will share some more reels from the road, and I will share some more pictures from the road. I'm gonna grab a picture of these two so I can send it to the owner, and then I'll share it with you guys too. So thanks everybody, you're all awesome, appreciate it. Bye. Kathy, is Big Mac going with Scarlett? He's already there. So, alright you guys, we'll catch y'all later.